2 days after 3 Indian Jawans were martyred in Machil in Jammu and Kashmir, one of them beheaded by Pakistan, the Ministry of External Affairs says it cannot confirm or deny if the Pakistani Prime Minister's strategic advisor Sartaj Aziz will attend the Heart of Asia summit in Amritsar next month. The opposition is crying blue murder, saying this is the same government that said terror and talks will not go hand in hand. While daily ceasefire violations continue along the line of control, innocent civilians are targeted by Pakistan. Why and how can the government host Sartaj Aziz? That's the debate tonight on Insight.
His agents mutilated our Jawan. India is lining up in disgust. But Pakistan's foreign envoy wants to come to India to grandstand.
Pak Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's advisor on foreign affairs Sartaj Aziz is eyeing an India visit on the 4th of December for the Heart of Asia conference. This after he was infamously kept out in the year 2015 for having decided to engage the separatists.
बातचीत आतंकवाद के आगे नहीं होगी, कश्मीर पर नहीं होगी, केवल आतंकवाद पर होगी। ये उफा की स्पिरिट है जिस पर दोनों नेताओं ने हस्ताक्षर किए, जिसको दोनों विदेश सचिवों ने बोला है। इसलिए मैं उन्हीं की बात का जवाब दे रही हूँ कि भारत कोई प्री कंडीशन नहीं लगा रहा। सरताज साहब, आप आने को तैयार हैं तो हम, जिसको दोनों विदेश सचिवों ने बोला है, इसलिए मैं उन्हीं की बात का जवाब दे रही हूँ कि भारत कोई प्री कंडीशन नहीं लगा रहा। सरताज साहब, आप आने को तैयार हैं तो हम भी बुलाने को तैयार हैं।
Look, at this point in time, I can only say that External Affairs Minister will not be attending the Heart of Asia. But the program is still evolving. The associated events, connected with the Heart of Asia are still in a process of evolution.
भारत सरकार और प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी पाकिस्तान के बारे में उनकी क्या नीति है वो स्पष्ट करें।
पाकिस्तान निरंतर भारत को उकसाया रहा है और भारत के विरुद्ध तरह तरह की नापाक हरकतें कर रहा है। हमें लगता है कि इसका असर तो उनके विजिट पर भी पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा और पड़ना चाहिए भी।
Pakistan does not want to lose out initiative in totality to India by absenting themselves from this visit. Also, Pakistan is trying its very best to put international pressure, diplomatic pressure, political pressure in somehow or the other opening a dialogue with India.
हमारे सैनिक भी रोज मर रहे हैं। तो सरताज अजीज और पाकिस्तान को जब तक कड़ा रुख नहीं करेंगे तब तक कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है। और मेरा मानना सरताज अजीज को हिंदुस्तान में आने की इजाजत नहीं देनी।
While the government has said that talks and terror can't go together, the opposition is questioning Sartaj Aziz's visit to India. Government says that this is an international conference on Afghanistan and a decision will have to be taken by both sides and by all stakeholders of the Heart of Asia conference on Afghanistan. With British journalist Gopal Chaudhary in New Delhi, Geeta Mohan.
And joining us this evening on Insight is Tom Vadakkan, National Spokesperson of the Congress Party, GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Kamal Sibal, former Foreign Secretary with us from New Delhi, and retired Commodore G.J. Singh, a defense analyst with us from Bengaluru. Good evening to all of you. My first question to you, Commodore Singh, we spoke about this earlier today. The MEA cannot confirm or deny Sartaj Aziz's participation. The opposition says it shows the government's double standards. Where do you stand on this, sir? I'm told we will reconnect with Commodore G.J. Singh. Kamal Sibal, it's an international conference, the government says, and India cannot dictate the guest list. Does that argument hold water?
Of course, because it's not as if we initiated the Heart of Asia conference. In fact, it was Turkey that did that. And we became part of it because we want to have a say in these discussions. And since we are contributing so much to the development of economic development of Afghanistan, and the Heart of Asia conference is actually focused essentially on the economic issues, it was necessary for us to be present and to be seen as a valid party to the future developments in Afghanistan. Now, it is our turn to host this conference because last time it was Pakistan that hosted it, Turkey has hosted it, others have hosted it. So we are obliged to invite all the members, and we cannot on our own reject somebody's participation, because that will create a crisis, because some others will object that Pakistan is a key player in the future of Afghanistan. Let's accept that reality. Let's not ignore that reality. It is a clear key player, although it has played a very negative role, but still it's a key player. And Afghanistan is a landlocked country, and its only access to the sea is through Pakistan. There are other kinds of relationship between the two countries at the ethnic level, economic level, etc., etc. So I don't think it is in our interest or it is proper for us to deny him a visa and not let him come. It is for him to decide whether the moment is opportune for him to come, because he will be snubbed. He will not be able to hold any conversation with anybody. Our foreign minister, in any case, at the moment is not well, and he has no counterpart to whom he can speak to. So if he was wise, he would rather not come and be subject to, which will actually be a kind of a political snub. I don't know what Pakistan will get out of it. And Sartaj Aziz, as you know, is a hardliner. He's actually a creature of the armed forces. He got very negative feelings about India if you look at his past record and the statements that he's been making. So he's not the man who can move the relationship forward. So he's the wrong person to be sent in any case. But I suppose Pakistan wants to also make the point, like we did when we attend these conferences, that they are very much a part of this process, and they cannot let India organize such a meeting without they being present and their voices not being heard, and their points that they want to make not being heard by members of the Heart of Asia conference.
Commodore G.D. Singh, you've just heard Kamal Sibal out, and do you think that we can make this differentiation? We can say that our international diplomatic obligations are one thing, and what's happening on the border is another. And yes, we sympathize and we respect the supreme sacrifice of the martyrs, but this is another matter, and Sartaj Aziz must be allowed to come to India.
No, I don't think. I do not agree with the ambassador, because you see, we have to synthesize and be very clear as to what Mr. Sartaj Aziz is going to do here in India. The media reports have come that in Pakistan he has already constituted 2 committees. One committee is going to highlight the Kashmir issue globally, and the other one is going to reach out the segments of the Indian public who are opposed to the Prime Minister Modi's policies, and they call it extremist policies. So I see total contradiction to this, and mind you, the members which are being drawn into this in these committees are from the Home Ministry, Foreign Ministry, Information Ministry, and also, and I underline that, from the ISI, from the military operations, from their internal, what they call is IB, and from the other senior military officials. So I don't understand that why should we allow a person who is opposed to India and who is trying to internationalize the Kashmir issue should be on our soil in Amritsar. My second point, which is very important, is that we as a country has to understand that if we are putting military pressure on Pakistan, on the LOC, it cannot be differentiated, it cannot be isolated from the rest of one India. What India needs to do out here is now, if you really want to make the military pressure effective on Pakistan, that we stand as one wholesome, singular, absolute, one unit, one body, one wholesome body. We cannot afford on one side, what they call punish the Pakistan military, what we have been recently saying that, very, what they call is retributive, heavy retribution, and at the same time, you are extending a hand of friendship. You are welcoming the foreign, affairs advisor to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to India.
No, may I say something?
I mean, these are contradictions.
Yes, sir.
It will totally fizzle out. It will totally mitigate the effect of the, military that we are making on Pakistan. So therefore, I think they need to revise their approach. They need to, what they call, recalibrate their policy towards Pakistan. It is, I think, not very acceptable, not acceptable in fact at all to the Indian mind and public.
Mr. Sibal, you wanted to make a point.
Yes, I mean, if you carry this logic to its conclusion, then why are we having diplomatic relations? Why is the Pakistan ambassador here? Why is he allowed to meet the press? Why is he operating here and making all kinds of statements and sometimes pretty offensive ones? And why do we have our High Commissioner there? So let us take a reasonable, sober, balanced view on these things. And it's not a bilateral affair with the Heart of Asia conference between India and Pakistan. And we cannot operate at the international level based on what our bilateral, purely bilateral relations are with a participating country. I mean, we should have better understanding of diplomacy. Then cut off all relations with Pakistan if our soldiers are being martyred. And actually, I think if he came here and he was snubbed, it will put Pakistan in a terrible position because their so-called foreign minister would have no role, no say. And then why are we so afraid that since they have set up a committee, now suddenly they become such a threat to us that we won't be able to manage our affairs? Is Pakistan such a powerful country, they have that capacity to actually, they've been mobilizing international opinion on Kashmir for the last how many years? 7 decades. And what have they achieved? And simply because a committee has been set up and we're getting nervous? I don't understand this kind of reasoning.
That's a fair point, but the other side of this argument is this, Mr. Sibal, that on the one hand, this government talks about isolating Pakistan. On the other, you're hosting somebody who's the representative of the Prime Minister. Let me bring in Tom Vadakkan here. Mr. Vadakkan, the BJP, and we're waiting for their representative to join us here, saying that this is not a bilateral meet and excluding Pakistan will defeat the entire purpose of this conference. Why is the opposition still not convinced?
I agree with the ambassador that diplomacy would be out of business if we went into extremes. But at the same time, ambassador should also be very candid enough to speak out in public domain and explain why there is no continuity in the foreign policy. There is this ups and downs. I mean, even the MEA, the ambassador, the High Commissioner in Pakistan did not know about the Prime Minister's visit, you're aware. So diplomacy should run parallel, I accept it. But here is a catch-22 situation that has emerged. If you call him, you're damned. If you don't call him, you're damned either way. So this is some decision that the MEA has to take, very cautious decision based on inputs. Because I think the report that appeared in the Dawn recently, talking about a committee, it's not the committee that worries. This is part of a larger roadmap coming to India either to be snubbed or coming here to be making strong statements against India. And these are testing times, you must remember. So one has to be extremely careful. A call from MEA. MEA has not been very clear on the line. They only said Sushma Swaraj would not be attending. That was for obvious reasons. But the question is, the Prime Minister, I understand, is going to address this conference. There are reasons that there may be some interactions, a track to perhaps. Now, these are very, very dangerous times. A wrong decision can cause major damage. So India has to be extremely cautious. While we talk about terror and talks cannot go together, and here's a situation that you either take it on or you say that it is not possible. But you must remember the world is very closely watching you, and that is what Sartaj Aziz's main aim to come into India is at this juncture. So call must be taken by the government, logically, cool-headed, logic must be applied, and it is you can't balance it on two stools.
Absolutely. We have GVL Narasimha Rao, spokesperson of the BJP, with us on the phone line. Mr. Rao, you're being accused of not having a consistent foreign policy. Response, sir.
I think anyone who has witnessed how Pakistan has been isolated internationally, how Pakistan is feeling completely suffocated, how Pakistan's members of parliament and representatives of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif are unwelcome in global capitals around the world. The manner in which Pakistan has been snubbed and asked to put an end to...
So are we hosting their representative to make them feel better?
You wait for the MEA to comment on this. I don't speak for the MEA. I'm not the spokesperson for MEA. And
You're the spokesperson for the party in power, sir.
Fine. But I told you even before I appeared on the show, the MEA will take a calibrated position on this, and you will have to wait until a formal response comes from the MEA. MEA would certainly evaluate all the options. You have heard on this program a very fine diplomat like Mr. Sibal making comments, making arguments in favor, and also you have a response from a veteran, Army veteran, Commando DJ Singh. So there are all kinds of arguments, and all of them are very, very strongly, I think, articulated. Government will declare its position as time comes nearby. This government has had tremendous success on foreign policy, on in ensuring that Pakistan has been cornered, not just in the neighborhood, internationally. So let the government take a final view on this, and government has had a phenomenal success in the past. There is no need to really doubt about its future success.
Commodore DJ Singh.
This question, in fact, Ambassador Sibal will be better person to explain to me that just now Mr. Narasimha Rao has said that Pakistan has been internationally isolated. Now, when I look at the word isolation, it means entering into a state of separation and into state of detachment. But out here we find that Pakistan's High Commissioner in Delhi is doing pretty well for his country. He has been involved in the espionage activities, and he is always reaching out to the separatists on our soil, whereas the Indian High Commissioner in Islamabad is issuing all kinds of visas to the artists, to the ghazal singers, to the actors of Dil Hai Mushkil. All kinds of things are taking place between the two countries. The two countries are together. But at the same time, we are telling the Indian, masses that Pakistan has been internationally isolated. So, how to reconcile this contradiction? On one side, you are calling it isolation, which means separation and detachment. On the other side, you are, together having your diplomatic relations doing well and fine.
Master Sibal, do you want to take that?
Well, I think that we are calibrating our policy towards Pakistan. It is becoming tougher, and we are becoming very proactive on the international stage and regionally to try and isolate Pakistan. You know, isolating Pakistan and trying to isolate Pakistan are two different things. Pakistan can't be easily isolated because it has very powerful friends, and it has China, which is now the second biggest power in the world, as an iron brother of Pakistan. They will not allow Pakistan to be isolated. Even Russia started making overtures towards Pakistan, and the United States will always have an ambivalent policy towards Pakistan. The Islamic countries also, because of the Islamic affiliations, will not allow that kind of isolation of Pakistan. But on the specific issue of terrorism, apart from China, there is a big change in thinking about Pakistan's role. And in that limited way, Pakistan is beginning to be isolated. But if they are allowed to come here and attend an international conference, it doesn't at all contradict the larger issue of isolating Pakistan on the issue of terrorism. With regard to the ambassador, I would say that if things don't stabilize, if things start escalating, then I'm afraid a situation will come when we'll have to recall our ambassador and send back the ambassador here. If you remember, after we had massed our troops on the borders after the parliament attack, we had withdrawn the ambassador, but the Pakistani ambassador continued to function for a few months until he was sent back. I think that step would be taken, but let's not do anything in such a hurry as if we are entering into a scale war with Pakistan. That situation is not reached. If Pakistan can still mend its ways, there can be an easing of the situation. But yes, at the moment, the situation is very tense. And the Pakistan ambassador here is enjoying a certain advantage because of our free and open society and the fact that we don't want to take harsh decisions, where our ambassador there is far more isolated in terms of his functioning than the ambassador here.
Jeevan Narasimha Rao, I want to put this question to you. On the one hand, the government says we are isolating Pakistan. Our foreign policy is a resounding success. The army says the Pakistan will face heavy retribution for what it has done. On the other hand, we have people like you and people from the MEA, the official spokesperson, coming out and saying we cannot even confirm or deny if Sartaj Aziz will be allowed to come in. The family of the Machil martyrs today said that we want Pakistan to be made to pay for what has been done to our sons. Why these different voices in which your government is speaking? On the one hand, such tough posturing and rhetoric. On the other, we are going to analyze the situation. See, this is the same Sartaj Aziz who came and insisted on talking to Hurriyat and led to the cancellation of foreign secretary level talks, sir.
No, I see the two, the analogy or the comparison is not really appropriate. We have our defense minister, our armed forces have not only issued a threat for retribution, they actually carried it out. Certainly, our armed forces will really ensure that every attempt at cross-border violation will be met with a very strong response. On the question of this summit, Heart of Asia summit, I think he is not a welcome guest, but very keen to come. He is announcing, Sartaj Aziz is making announcements every day. Let him remain in suspense. There is no reason for us to really speak up at this stage. And also, Pakistan's isolation can only be gauged from the fact that Nawaz Sharif's attempt at breaking up Kashmir in UN General Assembly had absolutely no takers.
That's all right. Are you, Mr. Rao, are you saying that there's a possibility that the government might deny a visa to Sartaj Aziz, or are you hoping that he decides to not come?
I think I would ask you to hold your horses. Do not speculate. That is the beauty of a good diplomacy. Wait, let Sartaj Aziz wait in suspense. Let the government open its cards when the time is appropriate.
Tom Badakan?
Well, he's waiting for the horse to bolt, and this is precisely the situation that they've always been indulging in. You take a firm decision. You take a firm decision based on facts. You have a dignitary to come into India. You want him there or not. The position, like Ambassador explained, we are not for a hard and fast rule that you should do this or not do that. The point here is, do you want the advisor to be here? He's playing according to a particular plan of action. If you don't invite him, if you deny him a visa, that is an opportunity he will use. The point is, if you wish him that he won't come, I think that is wishful thinking. Mr. Rao, let's be realistic. Take a decision. Let MEA take a position. That is why I'm saying there is a vacillation in their position on the foreign policy with Pakistan, and that's the issue we have been raising from time to time.
Commodore Singh, final comments, sir.
I am still wondering as to what is the guarantee that Mr. Sartaj Aziz will not raise the issue of Kashmir on this very forum, the Heart of Asia conference in Amritsar, because their 40 representatives of the 40 countries are coming there. Prime Minister Modi is going to address it. Then Ashraf Ghani, the Prime President of Afghanistan, is also going to address it. And Mr. Sartaj Aziz is going to have an opportunity again to bring out and highlight Kashmir issue. He will not be deterred, because this will be a golden opportunity for him to tell the world as he is planning in his country about the violation, human rights violation in Kashmir. He is calling the terrorism in Kashmir as a freedom struggle. So all these things put together, I think this is not a step in the right direction.
Okay. For the moment, the MEA not confirming or denying whether Sartaj Aziz will be given the visa. So the question mark still remains. But I'm going to thank you all, Tom Bodakan, Jeevel Narasimha Rao, Kamal Sibal and Commodore G.J. Singh for joining us here on Insight. Thanks very much for watching.